Buongiorno and welcome to Sicily! We are already here since about 10 days or something and it's been amazing so far. I mean, it's a bit stressful in the city and stuff, but the nature is amazing. So in this video we're gonna concentrate on the flora and fauna of this island, because this is what I'm really fucking passionate about and this is what I want to show you. First things first, we arrived on a Sunday morning in Palermo by ferry from Cagliari. And what should I say, the cheapest tickets are not always the most comfortable. So here we are, Palermo. While the locals are getting ready for Sunday's church after a quiet Saturday night, we waited for the first coffee shop to open for us. We spent the first day in Palermo taking an anti-mafia tour where we learned a lot, and maybe there is also going to be a video about this topic in the future. Then, while being on the way to Catania to pick up our rental car, we stopped in Cefalù, as I thought it really looked nice and wanted to check it out. However, there were masses of tourists, so we just relaxed at the campsite there and went on the next day to Catania. From here we started a trip to seek and find Sicily's natural treasures. And this was our first stop. We came here first for the views of one of Sicily's biggest necropolis, Pantalica. About 5,000 stone graves that reminded us on the Domus de Janus on Sardinia are here in this area. They are dating back to 800 to 1300 BC. But soon we realized that it's not only the view of the old graveyards, but also the incredible beauty of nature that is worth a visit. One of the first things that we noticed was that there is a new lizard species. On Elba and Sardinia we exclusively had the wall lizard. This is, as far as I got with my researches, a ruin lizard, or another subspecies of wall lizard. If any lizard expert is watching this, please tell me what we have here. Thanks a lot! Some of the most present plants here are the valerian or the Turkish sage. A tree that is more common in Sicily than other parts of Europe is the carob tree. It was and still is a very important tree in some regions of the world, as the very nutritious fruits are used, for example, as flour and syrup. Later that day we were also looking for the endemic and very rare Selkova sicula. There are only around 1500 plants of them left in the wild, but even after searching for about 5 hours we were not able to find them. However, we found so many other beautiful colors and shapes all around the wood we walked through, and also got a stunning Etna view. The next day in the morning we visited an old necropolis where we found this little guy. What the fuck is he doing? Before going to the Grand Canyon of Sicily, Cava Grande del Casibile. And here we had some very unexpected wildlife encounters. First we saw what I think is a Sicilian grass snake feasting on a toad. She just did it right in front of us. That was so cool. I felt like I'm the Master Chief of National Geographic. Grass snakes are common to whole Europe, but the Sicilian is a subspecies, which has a pretty different look than the ones I'm used from seeing in Austria. Then, after following the trail a little, we found a beehive, but after looking closer we saw that there is nobody home. And just a few minutes later we had the probably most interesting encounter so far. Amy just fought off a fox and she degraded me now that I have to carry the heavy bag because she's the alpha male now, and I agree, you're the boss now. For real, that fox came really close, craving for our food, and while I was still not sure if he's friend or foe, Amy used her army skills and fought the fox off with some water right between the eyes. What a strange experience. Let me interrupt there for a second. Why was the fox not scared of us? I thought about this pretty long, and we also talked to a ranger in the park, and apparently people feed the animals and also leave their trash, which are both very stupid ideas. Especially the feeding makes the animals lose their shyness of humans, and then in bad cases it actually comes to attacks. And then the media and everybody goes crazy, and in the end the animal has to die. Pretty unfair in my opinion. So please don't leave your food waste or any other trash in nature, and in no case ever feed a wild animal. Thanks a lot. Just my 2 cents. Let's continue. Behind me is Rocca del Crasto. It's a pretty famous breeding place for golden eagles and Griffon vultures. Both species went extinct because of human intervention, but were reintroduced in the last few decades, and we are gonna try to find some today. We were greeted by some locals and a lot of beautiful landscapes. And as it was really hot on this day, I was very sure that the birds will be out using the good thermal airstream. And after some waiting and watching,
Wow! Gänsegeil über mir!
These giant birds count to my favorite animals. They are just marvelous to watch in the sky, incredible beautiful creatures and so important for a functioning ecosystem. Also, they are a great example for working rewilding projects, not only here but all over Europe. The wingspan of these birds is usually around 2.5 meters, can go up to 3 meters in some cases. The species once was nearly extinct in Italy, only in Sardinia a small population managed to survive. Nowadays, Eurasian Griffon vultures are found again in many regions in Europe and far east until India or Nepal. The biggest threat to vultures, as it is to a lot of other wildlife, are poisoned baits. This is also the reason why they went extinct in Sicily in the first place. It's a good thing that a rewilding project exists, because these massive birds are not only a beauty to watch, but they are like nature's pest control. Vultures are scavengers, so they make sure that the carcasses of dead animals disappear as quickly as possible before viruses and diseases can spread. I don't know if you can see any of this, but there are 6 Griffon vultures, at least on one point. It's amazing. We've seen so many, they came so close. It's so fucking cool. We are in the middle of the Madonie National Park, and look at the amazing view. It's the best weather and the best day. We are going to find Abies nebrodensis, the Sicilian fir or the Nebrode fir, however. Anyway, this tree was declared extinct in about 1900, but there were a few trees of them, like 20 to 30, just found a few kilometers from here. And we're trying to check them out. And actually this fir is easy to find, as there is a trail that leads to some of the trees. As this is probably the most rare needle tree in whole Europe, every one of them is numbered and is protected really good. Like, look at this, we're in the middle of the mountains and there are cameras everywhere, so they really take care of this tree, understandably. And there she is, Abies nebrodensis, aka the rarest conifer in Europe, with around 30 adult trees surviving only in this little area of Madonie National Park. The project Life for Fur is working and protecting the trees while also raising some seedlings and later planting them in the area to make sure the survival of the species. The reason why the fir is so rare is that it was for a long time excessively used as construction wood in Sicily. So here we have a big one, a big specimen, a bit hidden behind the holm oaks. But this is probably one of the biggest here. They grow up to 15 meters. I will show you how to identify them. So first of all, as far as I know, they are the only Abia species on Sicily. Anyway, they have short and very solid needles. And also, don't know if you can see it. Yes, the part where the needle meets the wood is round. Here you can see it pretty perfect. Usually at nearly all other firs it's elliptical. Here we have again two of the bigger trees. It's so fucking amazing that they are taken care of and there is a project. So if you want to know anything more about the project or the trees themselves, I will put a link in the description. A tree that also grows here a lot and becomes really huge is the Himalayan cedar, but it's more or less impossible to mistake the Abies and the cedar, because look at the needles here, they are pretty soft, quite long. They have a completely different grow. They grow in these little balls here. And also their pines look totally different. And that's pretty much it for this video. We also did some other stuff like swimming in the sea or visiting the huge holly trees in the Madonie park. I also thought about going to Trapani and visit the Salinas there to find the Maltese fungus, but we already found this one in Cagliari Salinas. And if you want to find out more about this parasitic plant and other unique plants and animals, I highly recommend to check out my shorts as well. So I hope in this video I could show you that Sicily is not only beach, culture and food. It has a lot of unique nature that's worth knowing about and worth protecting. Sadly, I got the feeling that in Sicily there is a huge amount of people and therefore a huge amount of cars and trash and a very little amount of respect for nature. But hopefully this can change in the future. Right now we are already on the Aeolian Islands, on Vulcano to be precise. This one and the other amazing islands will be the topic of our next video. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If so, leave a like, subscribe to the channel and see you next time. Bye.